Hello, welcome back to Multi-Frequency, another, if I do say so myself, fantastic episode, because I'm absolutely delighted to have the one and only Professor Robert Richardson on the show to talk a bit about robotics. Now, this really is a fascinating one. Had a fantastic time chatting to Professor Richardson, actually. Second time I've managed to grab him for these kind of purposes, for airing. So first appearance on Monster Frequency, very, very pleased to have him. So just a bit about the man himself. He's director of the Institute of Design, Robotics and Optimization, and director of the Leeds EPSRC National Facility for Innovative Robotic Systems, which is a world-class, over £4 million facility for designing and creating robotic systems. And of course, he's Professor of Robotics at the University of Leeds. Now, he's talking a bit as well about the UK Festival of Robotics, which has been a recent festival here in the UK, of course, and the website for that, ukras.org.uk/robotics-week. That tells you all about the kind of events that they were running, and actually you can still check out some of the stuff they've got on there. Do urge you to do it if you've got any kind of interest at all in robotic systems. So, of course, being in medcoms, I do have to sneak in a little bit of a chat about robotic surgery. We've actually had a previous guest, Dr. Jonathan Sakia, talking about this kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, some of these projects that Professor Richardson has been involved with are simply mind-blowing. Now, I don't want to steal too much from this interview. I want to let you kind of explore it for yourself. But I'll just give you a little sneak preview, okay? One of the projects he's worked on, which I just find absolutely fascinating, he built a robot to explore the Great Pyramid of Giza, and actually using this robot they discovered a few years ago, ancient texts that had never before been seen. So, this robot, the robotic explorer of the pyramid, I mean, how cool is that? Also, a bit of a spooky detail to that. Yeah, something spooky happened. I'm not going to say what, and I'll just have to let you listen, won't I? So, are there ghosts exploring the pyramid as well? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm a man of science, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll have to listen in. He also tells us about all the kind of recent things that he's been involved with. You know what? I'm not going to spoil any of that. I'm just going to let him explain that because, yeah, as I say, this is slightly mind-blowing. So that's enough chat from me. Sorry, mega long introduction with me blabbing on. Let's get the man himself on. This is Professor Robert Richardson. So pleased to have you with us, Professor Richardson. Thank you very much indeed. Here he is. I'm going to have to warn you, actually, just at the start as well. I think I might have done this last time to you, but I just thought, just to be a little bit kinder, I'll give you a tiny bit of warning at the beginning of the interview that I think it might be time for another song request, if that's all right, at the end of the of our chat. Is that right?
I have to think about some kind of song then, yes.
Well, it could be like Danger High Voltage, couldn't it, or something with a robot theme. Anyway, yeah. If you're all good to go, I'll just ask you first of all if you could just just to introduce yourself briefly, if you like, just say your name basically, and perhaps a bit about your role if you would like to, and then I'll fire some questions your way. So whenever you're ready, just jump in.
Yeah, so good morning. Yeah, so my name is Professor Robert Richardson from the University of Leeds, Professor of Robotics, and do all kinds of things, especially robots that can repair and inspect the real world, so our environment, such as bridges and roads. And I'm also the chair of the UK RAS network, which is a network of 33 universities across the UK that seeks to really kind of push the research of robotics forward in the UK.
Oh, thank you very much, Professor Richardson. Yeah, absolute pleasure to have you with us again. Now, I do remember last time, we had an absolutely fantastic chat about robots ahead of the festival, and I remember actually talking to you, and you must get sick of talking about this particular robot. You probably know what I'm about to mention now, but the Djedi robot that you used to explore the Great Pyramid of Giza. I still think that's just the coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, absolutely. So I still have flashbacks on that, so I'm still hoping to do some more on it. So that was a robot that explored the Great Pyramid of Giza, as you may recall. That was amazing, and so we've still got unanswered questions there, and we hope to do it again at some point.
And I think that's just such a brilliant example, because I think it just really goes to show just the incredible variety of tasks that robots could be used for, right? Because I mean that's bound to be something that someone hadn't kind of thought about before. The average person is not going to consider that as a task that a robot could help with, exploration of ancient kind of sites. I just think it's remarkable. It's such a good example.
Absolutely. So robots can do all manner of things, like say from exploring ancient sites to new discovery. So there's lots of work with robots that are doing chemical analysis, chemical discovery, to doing manufacturing, of course, to make the world more efficient and more environmentally friendly. Service robots in our houses and in our shops and things to do things like hoovering, cleaning, and like that, firefighting drones. So the list goes on. So really any task that is difficult, repetitive, dangerous, robots are the best things to do for it.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard, a fantastic, pastime we're chatting about. I think we also touched on kind of surgical robots as well. I mean, I think that's another kind of example, really, that it just goes to show the kind of remarkable uses that people can find and probably already know about, actually, if they stop to think of it. Because I can see I've actually got some of the research in front of me here, about people's kind of attitudes and kind of perceptions about robots. I'm sure, actually, there are probably tons more that we kind of just take for granted.
Yeah, so in the medical domain, so there's definitely an increasing trend towards surgical robots, and it may become the point, in fact, where people are really refusing to be had surgery by actually people themselves. They won't. Of course, people are involved in the loop, but robots have the precision and the accuracy, and they can operate through smaller holes. And of course, in surgery, that's definitely a big thing. So yes, robots really can do so much that we can really help society, and that's what I'm really keen to advocate, that we can use them to really make a difference, a positive difference.
Yeah, fantastic. And ahead of the, as I say, the UK Festival of Robotics, I wonder what kind of focus that you've got there this time around. Have you got any kind of particular areas that you'll be chatting to people about?
Yes, so the UK Festival of Robotics, we have a whole host of different activities. So there's not one particular focus. We have online events and we have physical events. It's really kind of, people can go and they can do these events and understand. I guess the common thread is understanding the future of robotics. What are we doing? How can we use robots in the future? And of course, people also to think about how do they want robots to be used, because we want to make sure people are encouraged and have a positive outcome from this. So, for example, as some of the things that we're up to, we have an event called Robot Lab Live. In that event, you can go and see 9 university labs live across the UK, and you can effectively drop into them and you can flick between them and you can see them doing live demonstrations of really cool futuristic robot stuff. We have a live event of our Robot Talk Live podcast. So we do a podcast called Robot Talk, and that's on Monday, and people can go and actually listen to that and do that live. We have an event on Thursday, which is about how to start a career in robotics. So people who are thinking, well, I'm starting out, I just don't know how to get into robotics, they can go online and they can find out more about that. And then also physical events. So, for example, the National Rail Museum in York are having an exhibit on the future of public transport. The UK Atomic Energy Authority, which is doing really amazing stuff with fusion, really, futuristic, and we are the leading in the world in that respect, in many respects. We're going to open their doors for the first time with their facility in Race in Abington, so you can go in there and see robots doing things and exploring. So just some examples of loads of things going on, and hopefully people can drop in and watch online.
Yeah, wow, what a range of events. Yeah, that sounds absolutely fantastic, actually. I think a perfect place, to be honest, to me, it sounds like a perfect place to go, not only if you are already kind of in that sector and you're already fascinated with robots, perhaps even work, in robotics, but also it kind of sounds just fascinating for anyone else as well, anyone who doesn't really know where to even start, when to think about robots, and perhaps has only just thought about it for the first time this week, chatting to you, on the radio today. So I think it sounds like a great event.
Absolutely, yes. I think people who are experts will get something out of it because they'll be able to see what's going on. But also just people who are curious, what actually is a robot? What is going on? What are people doing in labs? And because they're live, this is the beauty of it. I mentioned the demonstration we're doing live. Because they're live demonstrations, things are going to go wrong. Things are not going to work as they should do. And I think you get to see the real robots, because we can all put together lovely glossy YouTube videos and make it look perfect. But you'll be able to see for live, like you're in the lab, and that's going to be really cool.
It reminds me a bit. I don't know if it's kind of I don't know if there's any kind of parallels there, but it's that kind of classic joke about kind of coders, and they say like, oh, if it's working, we don't know why. Don't touch it, just leave it.
Absolutely, yeah. And it never works in demo. It's unbelievable how you can have something working perfectly a few minutes beforehand and a live demonstration, and for some reason the gremlin appears and it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. And I was wondering as well if Prof Richardson, obviously, we don't have to touch on too much of this because obviously I'm aware of your time today, but I was just thinking about kind of talking to you about some of your I don't know if you could kind of tell us a bit about what you're kind of currently up to, because obviously, we touched on at the beginning the Djedi robot, which is just absolutely fascinating. I wonder if you could tell us about anything that you're up to, at the moment. You said you might be working on some kind of more projects down that kind of avenue, or are there other kind of focuses that you've got at the moment? So it'll be great to hear a little bit.
Sure, yeah. So at the moment, we're doing loads of interesting research across a really kind of broad range of things. One area is what we call self-repairing cities. So cities, of course, we use them for roads, for driving vehicles. In the city, there's all kind of pipes and electric supplies and that sort of thing. But these degrade, and we have roadworks, and we have pollution, all these kind of problems. And amazingly, underground, the amount of water, the amount of good quality water that leaks out of pipes is just unbelievable. So we're working on a project, a quite large project, to look at how we can use robots to make our city infrastructure, that means like the roads, the bridges, make it self-repairing, so that we don't have any of these problems. So, for example, one project, we're looking at a swarm of small robots that live inside pipes.
Wow. And
they scurry around, they look at the pipe walls, and they try and find leaks, and then hopefully they can fix the leaks, and we don't even know that there was ever a leak in the first place.
Wow, gosh, yeah, that's a bit mind-blowing. I think that's absolutely incredible. I wonder if there's any places for people to kind of, I don't know, obviously, that we will get to the kind of links for the UK Festival of Robotics as well, but I wonder if there's any links for people to learn a bit more about your work, because, that does sound fascinating. Do you want like a Twitter page or things like that people can follow?
Yes, they can go to our website, which is Real Robotics. Let's make sure Real Robotics. .co.uk, and they can go on there and they can actually see some of our work. And we have actually lots of documentaries. So we have a documentary on the Egypt project, which is like an hour long, and that's good. And that kind of is like a fly on the wall documentary, and it shows the highs and the lows and the challenges and the stresses and the beauty of success. When things come together and it just works.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, it must have been quite a mind-blowing moment actually when you saw that text appear, because obviously when you revealed the kind of text using the robot. What was it like seeing that on the screen? I bet you're thinking, yeah, there we go, we've won it.
So yeah, when we found, so the challenge was we were up there, we put the camera through, but with the man in charge wasn't there, so we had to go back to the hotel, spend the entire night and not turn the camera on. So we had the whole night with the camera looking at, it could be anything, and we don't know. And then the following morning we had to go and then turn the camera on, then we discovered it. So it was a very strange sort of delayed, obviously excitement, relief, but also wishing, I just want to press just one. No, you can't touch that. You can't see it until the main man's here.
Oh, amazing. What would have been the worst, right, is if you turn that on, it was just like a Pepsi can there or something, you think, oh, what?
It could have been absolutely anything. And interesting, actually, in this hidden place, there is actually a ticket that someone had bought to enter the pyramid at some point, probably like 20, 30 years ago. Which is really bizarre. So did an animal carry it there at some point? Or how? There's no way of getting in there. So how did this ticket appear in there? And of course you only see it when you're inside the shaft. So yeah, it's very strange. Slightly
spooky as well, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. Evidence of the real ghosts in the pyramid as well as the kind of text. Yeah, I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you, Professor Richardson. I wonder if, I guess, just I realise I'm forcing you to veer off the UK Festival of Robotics week. It's all fantastic stuff. But I wonder if we could just maybe remind listeners on how to get involved with the week. You said that they could tune in remotely as well, I understand. So that'd be cool to kind of tell them how to do that, as well as obviously and anything else that they can do to get involved would be awesome.
Yes, to get involved, if you go to our website, which is UKRAS, that's UKRAS, that's one word, ukras.org.uk. On there, they'll find loads of information about the different things, the links for the online event, and also where the physical in-person events are happening. They can also go to our Twitter, which is UK Robotics, and on there, equally, they'll see some tweets about what we're doing and how to get involved.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, Professor Richardson. Now, I haven't forgotten. You'll be very sad to know I haven't forgotten about this part, but it is the song request time. It's time to put you right on the spot, I'm afraid. So, have you got any thoughts?
Yeah, from our discussion, it makes me think about the quest to make robots that work, and the challenges, and sometimes you're doing them, sometimes they don't work, and they don't do things. So what came to my mind was the Rocky theme tune, the challenge, the success, and finally the satisfaction of actually producing something that works and does what it should do.
Oh, yeah, what a choice. Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'll get that straight on. Well, Professor Richardson, yeah, thank you very much. I just want to double check, actually, basically that, well, a couple of things. A, that you're all happy with everything that I asked today, of course, before this goes out later today. And also, just check that you've got everything across that you wanted. If you want to reiterate anything or any kind of links or anything like that you'd like to get across that you didn't get the chance to yet, you're very welcome to. I'll just check with you, basically.
I think it's okay for me. Did you get the website for the Real Robotics? Did I say that clearly? I don't know. That would be cool to get people going and see what we're doing.
Yeah, feel free to just go for it again, actually, then, just in case I can pop that out again.
Sure. So if you want to find out more about the work we do at the University of Leeds in weird and wonderful robots, do check out our website, which is realrobotics.co.uk.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Well, I'll let you go. And the Rocky theme is coming on right away, actually.
Fantastic.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, have a great rest of the day. And hopefully we can catch you again on the show. Really look forward to it, if so hopefully.
Great, thank you. That's really good.
There you are, that's another song for your playlist. Get it on right away after you've finished up listening here. Professor Robert Richardson, thank you very much indeed. Fascinating to hear all about your recent work in the field of robotics. Now, don't forget to follow him on Twitter and also give this website a little cheeky visit, ukraz.org.uk. And if you want to hear more about the robotics week that he's talking about, that's ukraz.org.uk/robotics-week. That'll give you all the information there. Anyway, that is it from me for now. Do join us again next time. Keep your eyes peeled, not literally, because that will be exceedingly painful. Can't advocate that, I'm afraid. But yeah, keep an eye out, because another episode will be dropping very soon on the Monster Frequency podcast. Goodbye for now. Bye.